Looks like the passer, number 52. Remember, he came up lame in qualifying. He is staying way back, and the pace truck gets out of the way. We are getting up to speed. Outside pole sitter in that 45 with a big advantage coming to the green flag. He'll get out in front of Caden Lapcevich. Lapcevich to the inside. They'll race side by side through turn number 4 to complete lap number 1. Fairly wide coming out of turn 4. Adrian Foster on the inside. He'll back out of that hole. Caden Lapcevich still applying the pressure at the front of the field. Oh, problems off of turn number 2. Shane McGinnis in the 13 gets sideways. He collects Jordan House. Lapcevich to the inside as we got one up out of the groove. That's Adrian Foster in the X-Car out of the groove off of turn 2 and one in the wall in turn 3. Jordan House, who had been smoking for a few laps. I did not see how that incident got started, but Shane McGinnis in the 13 was all sorts of crossed up a few laps ago in turn number 2. Made contact towards the end of his slide. Frank Giovanni just slowly rolling up, looking to take advantage again. Caden Lapcevich will try to roll the outside, and Lapcevich with the advantage at the start-finish line. He'll drive it deep down into turn 1. A little bit of gamesmanship between Lapcevich and Giovanni as Lapcevich maintains the lead, and now it's Bozell on the outside of Brandon Watson through 3 and 4. Both of them driving black cars. Brandon Watson with the yellow number 9, Bozell with the white number 8 on the doors. And a battle for 5th, that's a family affair. Tyler and Stan Rohrig side by side. Tyler on the inside, Stan on the outside. There's John Cadman in the 71 right behind them, sort of looking to see who's going to get the advantage. Stan Rohrig to the inside of Phil Bozell in that number 8. Bozell gets the run off the quarter, but Stan Rohrig going to keep position on the inside. It looks like momentum definitely better up on the outside, so you really got to pedal it hard on the bottom. Get the car pointed down the straightaway and jump on the throttle. And that's what Stan Rohrig's going to do. He's up far enough he could clear the Bozell machine. Now he'll clear him. Sean Grossman back behind the wall on that 29 machine. His night comes to an end early. And there goes Brandon Watson around the inside of the 45 of Frank Giovanni. So Brandon Watson takes that second position. Caden Lapcevich out in front by 2.5 seconds over Brandon Watson. Let's see if Watson able to reel him in. Remember, this is the same car that won last year with Tyler Rohrig behind the wheel. So a little bit of pressure on Caden Lapcevich to perform. Brandon Watson closing in by just more than 1/10 of a second a lap, and we got trouble in turn 3. Dario Capurchio in the 03 is slow on the racetrack. He is going to roll to a stop in turn 4. Just getting the fire on that race car. He's going to have to hustle at the field, coming up to speed on the front stretch. Shame on me for strolling down victory lane while one of our hot shoes was down in the pit, so he is back on the racetrack now. Obviously, whatever adjustment they made to that race car suited it fairly well. Glenn Watson just behind the 91 of Jake Sheridan. Again, he was in the pits making an adjustment, so both of those two cars are pretty stout since they've come up out of the pits. But Watson will drive it deep once again, get right up door to door. Sheridan gets a little bit up out of the groove. Watson will get by and take the spot. Caden Lapcevich working through 3 and 4. Brandon Watson's been able to close in a little bit of that gap. Last lap, Caden was a 17.7. Watson was a 17.9, so Caden a little bit quicker right now, but Watson definitely had closed the gap prior to that. Rohrig going to sweep up to the outside of that 22 car. Unable to make the pass that time in 1 and 2. He'll try again down in 3 and 4. Point that car to the outside. Believe Watson will give him the lane this time up off. Oh, no, he won't. Watson right across the nose of the 24 of Tyler Rohrig. This time Rohrig going to try it again in turn 2. But he is running out of racetrack every time coming off the turn. Glenn Watson coming all the way up to the wall. So now Rohrig going to look to the inside in 4. Heavy traffic ahead of these guys. Remember, they are not racing for position, but boy, is it entertaining to watch them battle. Rohrig really carrying a lot of speed through the center of the corner. Just not able to find a clear lane to make that move on Watson. He'll try again to the outside in turn 2. Let's see if Watson comes up the racetrack. No, this time Watson gives him that lane. I don't think he had too much of a choice there as Rohrig had positioned himself well. Yellow flag flies. The scheduled break at the midway point of this race. But halfway through, bring them down pit road, allow them to fuel up. And I expect Lapcevich to do just this, take off as quick as he can. As the pole setter, as the point man, he chooses when to go. Brandon Watson was up for the task. Side by side down the backstretch, door to door. Watson drives it in deep to turn number 3. He'll try to clear the 16 of Lapcevich. Almost does. Lapcevich able to keep that lane on the outside, but now Watson will clear down into turn 1. Lapcevich trying to cross him over. Keaton Lapcevich to the inside, couldn't get the bite. Brandon Watson to the lead. The 45 of Frank Giovanni, so he lost the front of the field a little bit earlier, but Giovanni's still up there in the top 5 battling, and then it's Tyler Rohrig in the 24 as Keaton Lapcevich all over the back end of the Brandon Watson, number 9. Third place, Stan Rohrig, 2 seconds behind the race lead. Whoa, trouble down in 1 and 2, Keaton Lapcevich. That is an unhappy Keaton Lapcevich, and he'll go. Oh, I thought he was going to take a ride. That's the Lapcevich golf cart he just walked past. Up on the power out of turn number 4. Watson leads him down the front stretch with Tyler Rohrig all but pushing him down into turn number 1. Rohrig with a great start up on the high side. He'll take the second position, putting Stan back to 3rd. Phil Bozell 4th. Glenn Watson right there in 5th. Stan Rohrig able to regroup in the 5th position in that 25 machine as Phil Bozell has to go way up the racetrack to get around Chris Burrows in the 64. So Bozell losing a little more ground to the lead duo. This time by it'll be 15 laps to go, and Tyler Rohrig's got to run out of turn 2. Rohrig taking the shorter trip around Jukasa Motor Speedway, but Brandon Watson has been up to the task. And it looks like Watson's car, the handling just a little bit off, but I believe he's choosing to run that line, and now Rohrig to the outside of the race leader. Rohrig up high, Brandon Watson down low, and Tyler Rohrig takes the lead in the 24 with 14 laps to go. So the gap widening for Tyler Rohrig. The best battle right now is for 2nd. Phil Bozell with the pressure on the 9 and Brandon Watson down in 3 and 4. White flag is out one more time for Tyler Rohrig, and look at this battle. Brandon Watson to the outside of the slower traffic down into turn 1. The smoke getting heavier out of the 22 of Glenn Watson. Phil Bozell's got one more chance. It's going to be in 3 and 4, but race fans, Tyler Rohrig has done it again. He will win here at Jukasa Motor Speedway. 2nd to Brandon Watson, 3rd to Bozell, 4th to Glenn Watson, 5th to Stan Rohrig, and we are headed to victory lane. And with a little help from his friend, Tyler Rohrig makes it to victory lane for the 2nd time in 2 years. How about a round of applause for the winner from Plymouth, Indiana?
That's never giving up, you know. My crew kept me in the game. I was pretty discouraged there when, the start of the race we weren't real good, so we pitted. Then, had to come from the tail, and car was really good there at the end of the race, and just awesome to be undefeated here. Well, it'd be really awesome if we could be undefeated tomorrow in the Fair Racing Development 81. No, great race, great venue, great promoter, Alex. Thank you. All the fans here, thanks for coming. Gotta thank London Mechanical. They come on board for this trip and really made it possible for us to get here. So that was cool.
Just one spot short. I noticed you looking under the car. Did something go away on you?
Fortunately, just that last run there, we got really tight. We're starting to push up. Front wheels are starting to chatter. So, unfortunately, we didn't have enough for the 24 there. We had a good run, though. Can't thank everyone. McCall Racing Enterprises. It's an amazing car. Shield Motor Products, Bay Frame Alignment, Nightworks Design, Great Lakes Concrete. Everyone that helped out. We had a good car. Gave the 16 some good runs there. Unfortunately, blew up. But, we're just able to hold on to second place, being pressured there at the end, but overall it's a good run for us.
You know, it's good to stand on the front straightaway at the end of one of these races, but second place and a third place, can we be happy with that, Phil?
Third place. Second's like losing to your sister. Third's losing to your mom. We're going to win one of these one day, and we'll keep coming back until we do. This place is awesome. All you fans for coming out here, amazing. I want to thank all the sponsors and all the people that make coming up here at the end of the year, and as long as they keep having this, we'll keep coming back.